Greetings, boils and ghouls. Slimebeast here, and I wanted to do another slime time video. I don't know, what do you think of that title? Change it? Keep it? So what will you be talking about this time, Slimebeast? Some bullshit like Jeff the Killer doesn't suck? No, actually, I'm going to be talking about basically selling or buying the rights. Well, actually, just selling. Selling the rights to creepypastas in general. It's just a general topic. It's not a how-to. It's not a whether you should or shouldn't. It's just a general thought process, stream of consciousness discussion, one-way discussion. Because I can't hear what you're saying about generally selling the rights to your creepypastas. There have been some cases of people actually going out, looking up who the creator of a creepypasta is, and offering them money for the rights to their work. If you're familiar with Candle Cove, Chris Straub, he actually sold the rights to Candle Cove. And I don't know how much, don't try looking it up, I'm sure you won't find it. But yeah, sold the rights. It's currently being made into a TV show, the first season of a TV show called Channel Zero, which I guess is sort of like X-Files, but for creepypasta, or internet urban legends and things like that. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure I'm not doing it justice. It's not exactly a ripoff of X-Files, and yeah, covering my ass. So anyway, the thing you should know, first and foremost, is that if you are a creepypasta author, protect your rights. Protect your rights. By this I mean, don't let people just all willy-nilly steal your work. If you see somebody posting your story and putting it under their name, like, here's a story I wrote, do not let that stand. Contact the person, being nice is key. If, it's that old thing, you catch more flies with honey than with vinegar. If you want them to remove it themselves, you're going to have to be nice, because if you're not nice, they're not going to remove it, and you're going to have to go to a lot more trouble, and you've only screwed yourself. But yeah, if somebody does that, ask them nicely to remove it. If they won't, go to the website it's hosted on. If it's a small site, talk to the administrators. If it's a big site, file, a complaint form. It's unfortunate, but you have to do it if you want to safeguard your rights. The reason you need to watch out for your rights to your own work, and this is, something where people give me flack for this, because they say, oh, well, if somebody's going to post your story up and monetize it, why do you care? And, let other people, they did work too. You got to watch your rights, because if you don't, keep your work under your own umbrella and make sure that people aren't just willy-nilly selling your products that you've made. And I'm going to refer to it as a product because that's, what Hollywood looks at. Hollywood looks at stories as products, corporations look at them as products. If you're going to be selling rights to anything, the person you're dealing with sees it as a product. So that's how I'm going to refer to it. If you let somebody else make money from your product, that muddies the waters as to who owns it. If you have, let's say, I don't know, fucking Fox Entertainment wants the rights to your story. And so they say to somebody, get on the internet and look up who owns this story that everybody's talking about. See who owns Slenderman. Who is the Slenderman character that we keep seeing everywhere that people want to see on things? Maybe we could own the rights to that. Look up who created it. So somebody goes to look for it. Oh, well, here's this person reading it on their YouTube channel without any credit or with anything like that. Here's this person, posting it on a forum under their name. Here's this person, who has linked to someone else's site, but they are profiting from the story. So if this person who wrote this story doesn't mind if people on YouTube are making money off of the story, then that means we can too, because legally they've already given permission for anyone to make money off their work. And guess what? You just screwed yourself out of a, big paycheck, and also Fox is going to have a new TV series based on your story, probably not even crediting you, because it's pretty much, they'll consider it public domain, because you've let pretty much anyone do whatever they want with your work. And that's, that's precedent. That's a history of, pretty much you indicating that you don't mind if people do whatever they want. And, there are people who don't mind. There are people out there who say, I don't care. I wrote this story. I wanted people to enjoy it. I'm done with it. If people want to sell it, if people want to make money off it, if people want to make a motion picture franchise out of it, I don't care. I don't need the money. I don't need to be credited. More power to them. If that's your opinion, fine. But keep in mind, it's just as likely that if they can't find the correct author, they won't do it. Because for everyone who says, ooh, we can't find the author, that means we can do it without having to worry. For every person like that, there are companies and individuals out there who won't touch a property because they don't know who created it, because they don't want to have something down the line coming up where the creator says, hey, you didn't find me and ask me, and now I'm going to put you out of business. I'm going to sue the shit out of you, whatever. You want to just make sure that everything is clean and proper and that your rights are in order. So yeah, the thing is too, and this is moving on to another subject, if you are selling the rights to your work, make sure you find out exactly what rights you're selling. Are you licensing it only for television? Are you licensing it only for movie? Is it just a video game license? Or are you selling your rights in total? These are different things, of course. If you are just licensing it for movies, that means the person who paid you can only make movies with it. They're not allowed to make, t-shirts, action figures, whatever the fuck else. Unless it's, specified in the contract as a hanger-on thing, like we can also do merchandise, but, And if you're selling your rights in total, that means they completely own your story. Just, that's it. You have no more rights over your story. They have all the rights over it. They can even, sell it out and license it out to other people. So if you sell the rights to your work and the people who buy it want to license it out to make movies to someone else, that's their prerogative, whatever works. So yeah, my personal preference would be, and this is just my advice to people out there, if somebody approaches you to purchase your work, just say to them, what were you planning? Maybe we can work out a deal. And if they say, well, we'll offer you X amount for all the rights to your work, or, we could just license it for this one thing for, a smaller amount, I would actually go with the smaller amount, because if that becomes popular, you'll have the rights to everything else, which you could then sell to other people. But yeah, that's just a general idea. That's nothing too big to worry about. The price you'll be paid, it's very hard to say. I mean, you got to make sure that you don't get shortchanged, because a lot of great creators throughout history, if you look up Jack Kirby was a artist at Marvel Comics, created a lot of the stuff that Stan Lee takes credit for. Stan Lee still is credited for it. And he's basically not even spoken about. He was treated like crap up until the day he died by Marvel because he didn't, get the right deals in the beginning. The contracts, Marvel would always cite the contract saying, oh, look right here, you have no rights to anything, and we can just say whatever we want about who made it and blah, blah, blah. So, the thing is to make sure you don't get shortchanged. Look up on the internet, do research. If anybody approaches you, do research on the internet and figure out what a comparable short story like yours has, garnered in the past. And I'm not going to give you numbers in this video, I'm sorry to say. I would love to just say, here's the range of numbers, so don't take anything but this. But, it's a case-by-case basis. It basically depends on such immaterial things like how popular is your story? Can they do something else similar without paying you? Is your story so basic that they could just make a slight change and you'd have no rights to it? All these different things. Is it more than one story? Is it an anthology? All these factors make a big difference, and you really got to just do the research yourself and make sure that you're not later down the line kicking yourself because you didn't, fight for your own rights to party. But yeah, those are just some of my thoughts on either selling or licensing the rights to your creepypastas, and my main focus is you gotta make sure you keep your rights. You really do. Make sure people are asking you for permission before they do things. You can give them permission, of course. I'm not saying if somebody asks you to read your story on, the internet or whatever, say no, or say they have to do it this way or whatever. You can give permission for whatever you want. But you got to make sure people are asking you for permission. You got to make sure that you're known as the author. Because when it comes time to contact the people they want to pay, it's got to be a one-way ticket right to you. They got to know who they're talking to and who they're looking for. So yeah. That's Slime Time with Slimebeast. That's just, that's just my opinion. I hope it helps somebody out there. I mean, most of you probably bored by this, not even really thinking about this topic. But I'm hoping that someday at least one person, hopefully more than one, because let's be honest, that would suck. At least one person out there at some point finds this video, and it informs them in some way about what they should or shouldn't do, or whatever. Their own decisions that they make about what they're going to do or not going to do when it comes to selling their work or licensing their work or even just protecting their property. That's it. I don't know what I'm going to talk about next time. Some random crap, I'm sure. Bye-bye!